Sean "Diddy" Combs, the mogul who once seemed untouchable at the pinnacle of his career in music, fashion, and business, now finds himself at the center of a legal firestorm. Today, in a New York City courtroom, the latest chapter of his ongoing legal battle unfolds. Diddy's defense team is working to suppress evidence, while prosecutors, with mounting confidence, reveal that more incriminating evidence is still to come. As the case intensifies, the FBI's recent findings have cast a dark and chilling light on the life of one of the music industry's most iconic figures. What was once considered the world of glitz, glamour, and fame now stands on the brink of collapse, with the shocking revelations about Diddy's hidden world threatening to bring down his carefully curated empire. From his Miami estates to his luxurious Los Angeles property, the FBI's recent raids uncovered jaw-dropping evidence that could ultimately lead to Diddy's downfall. These were not just routine searches, but part of a much larger and more disturbing investigation into the mogul's activities. Allegations surrounding coercion, exploitation, and criminal enterprise are now surfacing, causing many to wonder how a man who seemed to have it all could have fallen so deeply into such a storm of controversy. The FBI's revelations, dark secrets. Unearthed, the raid of Diddy's properties wasn't just a typical checkup. It marked the beginning of what could be the unraveling of his entire public image. Federal agents from Homeland Security investigations, along with other law enforcement officials, stormed Diddy's homes in both Miami and Los Angeles in what is believed to be part of an investigation originating in New York. While Diddy's representatives have remained silent on the matter, sources close to the situation have disclosed that what the FBI uncovered during these raids goes far beyond what anyone could have expected. In addition to substances and party supplies that raise serious red flags, investigators discovered evidence pointing to much darker activities that are now sending shockwaves through Hollywood. These activities allegedly involve coercion, exploitation, and abuse. Allegations that were previously hidden behind the walls of Diddy's exclusive and lavish gatherings. It's now becoming clear that the real story behind Diddy's parties, once glamorized and celebrated, is much darker and more dangerous than anyone could have imagined. While Diddy has denied all allegations, the evidence uncovered during the raids is starting to paint a troubling picture of his hidden world. The FBI's findings seem to be just the tip of the iceberg, and the more investigators uncover, the more disturbing the situation becomes. As the investigation progresses, the focus has shifted from just Diddy's personal activities to the broader implications of his influence on the entertainment industry. The notorious freak-offs and Diddy's infamous parties. Back in the early 2000s, Diddy's White Party was the hottest ticket in town. It was a gathering that everyone in high society wanted to attend. Celebrities, influencers, and A-listers filled the venue, with the real action only beginning after midnight. The parties were legendary, infamous for their extravagance and promise of the ultimate experience for those lucky enough to be invited. But now, as the veil of secrecy begins to lift, disturbing revelations about what went down behind closed doors are coming to light. Sources have recently come forward to reveal the dark truth about what were known as Diddy's freak-offs. These gatherings, which were intended to be a wild and exclusive celebration of excess, involved much more than just high-end entertainment and celebrity mingling. Allegedly, Diddy used his influence to supply substances to female attendees and male escorts, encouraging an atmosphere where anything went, no questions asked. The parties, once regarded as the epitome of Hollywood excess, have now been described as chaotic and dangerous. Insiders have painted a picture of a world where substance abuse ran rampant and raunchy encounters behind closed doors were the norm. Sources close to the situation have described how, as the night wore on, the atmosphere would take a dark turn, with many guests feeling uncomfortable and sneaking out by 2 or 3 a.m. to escape the escalating behavior. Celebrities who had once thrived in this exclusive world reportedly began to see the writing on the wall and made quiet exits, wary of the chaos that was unfolding behind the scenes. While Diddy has adamantly denied the claims, the growing body of evidence and the continued legal scrutiny surrounding these parties have many fans and followers questioning what really happened at these infamous events. As more insiders come forward with their stories, the once glamorous image of Diddy's exclusive parties is beginning to crumble. With every new revelation, the carefully crafted public persona of Diddy is becoming more and more difficult to maintain. The growing web of allegations, a pattern of coercion and exploitation. As the investigation into Diddy's parties continues, the scope of the allegations is widening. What began as a lawsuit from Diddy's former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie, has now evolved into a much broader inquiry into Diddy's behavior. Cassie's bombshell lawsuit served as the catalyst that triggered a flood of new allegations, and now other women have come forward, sharing stories of manipulation, coercion, and exploitation during their time in Diddy's orbit. The shocking allegations are only compounded by the disturbing discoveries made during the FBI's raids. Among the most chilling revelations were items suggesting a much darker side to Diddy's lifestyle. According to sources, federal agents found firearms, electronic devices, and even rooms dedicated to bondage equipment, lingerie, and hidden cameras at Diddy's Miami mansion. These discoveries have prompted comparisons to Jeffrey Epstein's infamous residence, a comparison that has left many wondering just what Diddy was involved in behind closed doors. The presence of bondage equipment and hidden cameras at Diddy's property has sparked widespread speculation about his use of these gatherings to exert control over others. Some have even suggested that Diddy may have used these wild parties to blackmail celebrities, using compromising material to maintain his hold over their careers. While the allegations are still unproven, the discoveries made during the raids have raised more questions than answers, and the investigation into these events is only beginning to scratch the surface. Federal indictment. The criminal enterprise. The FBI's findings are not limited to allegations of misconduct at Diddy's parties. According to a recent federal indictment, Diddy is alleged to be the leader of a criminal enterprise that involves forced labor, arson, kidnapping, bribery, obstruction, and, most chillingly, human trafficking. These charges have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, casting a dark shadow over the music mogul's once untouchable reputation. While Diddy has vehemently denied the accusations, the combination of lawsuits, raids, and now these deeply disturbing charges is proving to be a major blow to his image as a savvy businessman and music mogul. What was once seen as the epitome of success and power in the entertainment world is now being re-examined through a much darker lens. With each new twist in the case, Diddy's carefully curated public image is quickly unraveling, leaving many to wonder how far the investigation will go, and whether anyone will be held accountable for the disturbing activities that allegedly took place under Diddy's watch. The raids, a public spectacle. The most recent chapter of Diddy's legal saga played out publicly when a video surfaced showing federal agents conducting a raid at his Los Angeles property. The footage, which was shared by Misa Hilton, Diddy's ex and the mother of his son Justin, showed agents in full tactical gear storming the residence. During the operation, Justin and his brother Christian were briefly handcuffed, though they were later released without charges. The raid was intense, and Misa Hilton took to Instagram to express her outrage over what she considered excessive force used by law enforcement, particularly towards her sons. She claimed that the agents had gone beyond what the search warrant required, adding to the drama surrounding the situation. As the media frenzy around Diddy's legal troubles intensifies, the raid on his Miami mansion added another shocking layer to the unfolding scandal. According to reports, authorities seized a variety of items during the Miami raid, including firearms and electronic devices. These discoveries only serve to reinforce the growing narrative of Diddy's hidden criminal activities. The raid has also prompted comparisons to the infamous raid on Jeffrey Epstein's properties, further amplifying the severity of the allegations. Blackmail and abuse. The allegations continue. As if things weren't complicated enough, a resurfaced video from the early 2000s has added fuel to the fire. The footage shows Diddy laughing as he jokes about one of his infamous parties in London. In the video, DJ James Ford of the band Semi-Mobile Disco is seen passed out cold on a couch, allegedly after being drugged at the party. Diddy addresses the camera saying, "For those in London who wonder what happens to white men at my parties, this is what happens," before zooming in on the unconscious DJ and adding, "I put them to sleep." Diddy then proceeds to have another guest balance a drink on Ford's head, laughing at the absurdity of it all. The video, which resurfaced on social media at the height of Diddy's legal troubles, has raised even more questions about the chaos and potentially illegal activities that allegedly went on behind closed doors at his parties. The legal fight, bail requests, and public backlash. As Diddy's legal battles heat up, his defense team has filed a third request for pretrial release, arguing that the evidence against him is insufficient to justify continued detention. They claim that the previous rulings were flawed and that Diddy should not remain behind bars while awaiting trial. Diddy's legal team has also suggested that, as part of his bail conditions, women should be prohibited from entering his home except for family members or the mothers of his children. In an attempt to mitigate the damage to his reputation, Diddy has promised to undergo weekly screenings and maintain a log of all visitors. Despite these efforts, the allegations surrounding Diddy's parties continue to take a darker turn. As more revelations come to light, it becomes clear that the man once known as the life of the party may be hiding a much more sinister side. The growing legal drama suggests that the full extent of Diddy's alleged activities may still be yet to come. And with every new piece of evidence, the music mogul's carefully crafted public persona becomes more and more difficult to maintain. A web of manipulation, the disturbing nature of Diddy's alleged activities. As the investigation into Diddy's activities expands, the picture that emerges is deeply unsettling. Once celebrated as the life of the party, a music mogul whose influence could move mountains in the entertainment industry, Diddy's parties now appear to have been a carefully crafted web of manipulation, blackmail, and potential criminal behavior. What was once an environment of glamour, celebrity, and excess is now being revealed as a breeding ground for darker deeds. The leaked footage of DJ James Ford's collapse at one of Diddy's infamous gatherings is just the beginning. This video, which shows the DJ passed out cold on a couch after allegedly being drugged, has ignited a firestorm of accusations, but it is far from the only disturbing instance. Other sources claim that there were far more sinister elements at play behind the scenes. Diddy's carefully constructed empire appears to have been built on a foundation of control, coercion, and a disturbing network of fear. The once glamorous world of exclusive parties, packed with celebrities and influencers, is now exposed for what it truly was: an environment designed to manipulate and intimidate those within it. Alleged coercion and intimidation, a legacy of fear and control. A chilling aspect of the growing scandal is the allegations that Diddy used force, threats of force, and coercion to control his guests. According to the indictment, These tactics were used to force victims to engage in extended, disturbing performances with commercial male escorts. For many, the events were more than just scandalous parties. They were moments where Diddy used his immense power to manipulate and harm others. When federal agents raided Diddy's Miami Beach estate and Los Angeles properties, they didn't just find lavish furniture and high-end decor. The FBI uncovered evidence that added weight to the growing allegations. Seized items included narcotics and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. But what was particularly shocking was what the agents found next: firearms, including 3 AR-15 rifles with their serial numbers mysteriously tampered with, along with a drum magazine designed to hold a high capacity of ammunition. These items, along with the drugs and lubricants, painted a much more ominous picture of the true nature of Diddy's gatherings. When questioned, Diddy's legal team quickly dismissed any connection to the firearms, suggesting that the guns weren't his and that he had hired a security firm to handle the weapons. But this explanation did little to quiet suspicions. The presence of such dangerous items raised troubling questions about what Diddy was truly involved in. Was he simply a businessman with an intense need for security? Or was there something far darker behind his need for constant protection? The alleged culture of silence, paying off victims. The story grows even darker as former associates and celebrities connected to Diddy begin to speak out. One of the most shocking revelations comes from Ray J, who, in a jaw-dropping interview for TMZ's 2B documentary, claims that some of the biggest names in Hollywood are allegedly paying off Diddy's victims to keep them quiet. According to Ray J, the celebrities connected to Diddy's empire are so terrified of the truth coming to light that they are shelling out large sums of money to silence victims. Ray J described a pattern where individuals, some of whom were directly involved with Diddy's parties, were approached and offered financial settlements to keep their experiences under wraps. He stated, "Somebody has the truth. Somebody pays you to keep it quiet. And hopefully, that money that you got paid secures your happiness." This chilling statement paints a portrait of a powerful network attempting to bury the truth at all costs, using money as leverage to suppress the real story behind the allegations. In recent months, the legal pressure on Diddy has intensified, with multiple new lawsuits being filed against him. These lawsuits accuse the mogul of exploiting his power to harm over 100 individuals, many of whom have come forward with stories of abuse and exploitation. These accusations span decades, stretching back to the late 1990s, and paint a horrifying picture of Diddy's control over his guests. Shocking lawsuits and allegations of exploitation. Among the plaintiffs in these lawsuits are 6 individuals, 4 men and 2 women, who allege that Diddy's associates acted as enforcers, carrying out coercive actions that harmed them. One of the most disturbing claims comes from a man who alleges that in 1998, as a teenager eager to break into the music industry, he was lured into Diddy's world. At one of his infamous Hamptons parties, this young man was allegedly pressured into performing a humiliating and violent act. The teen, overwhelmed by the promise of a career in music, later realized the horrific nature of the experience and the control Diddy had over his life. The lawsuits continue to escalate, with another Jane Doe accusing Diddy of striking her during an event in 2005, which was meant to honor the late rapper Biggie Smalls. According to the accuser, Diddy lured her into a bathroom under the pretense of a private conversation. When she tried to pull away from him, Diddy allegedly became violent and, after the assault, threatened her with grave consequences if she ever spoke about the incident. "You'll disappear," Diddy reportedly told her. The mounting lawsuits are accompanied by even more disturbing claims. One former security guard alleges that he was injured at a 2006 Hamptons party and was later attacked by Diddy. Another man, who worked as a Macy's security guard in 2008, claims that he was forced into an act of abuse in a store stockroom by Diddy. These new legal battles are painting a grim picture of Diddy's long-standing pattern of abuse and intimidation, hidden cameras and leverage. The dark truth behind Diddy's mansion. Perhaps one of the most chilling revelations in this entire saga comes from a Department of Homeland Security agent who was involved in the raid on Diddy's Florida estate. According to this agent, the mansion was outfitted with rooms full of hidden cameras allegedly used to record compromising footage of Diddy's guests. This discovery has left many questioning how far Diddy might have gone to ensure his control over his inner circle. It appears that he was always a step ahead, using hidden cameras as a form of ultimate leverage. If anyone dared to speak out about the disturbing activities that took place at these gatherings, they could be silenced with the footage Diddy had on hand. These revelations point to a deeply disturbing pattern, one that suggests Diddy may have been orchestrating a criminal enterprise for years. His ability to maintain such a facade for so long while using fear, intimidation, and even violence to keep others in line is nothing short of chilling. As the investigations continue, the scope of Diddy's alleged criminal activities is only becoming clearer. Behind bars, Diddy's attempt to escape justice. As the investigation into Diddy's activities intensifies, he has found himself behind bars, awaiting trial. Currently held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center (MDC), Diddy is reportedly in a low-security dorm that offers certain perks, such as air hockey, and the ability to communicate with women on a lower floor. However, despite the seemingly relaxed environment, Diddy is not playing by the rules. According to some sources, he continues to maintain his innocence, insisting that he is being unfairly persecuted. In an attempt to secure his release, Diddy's legal team filed a bail request, citing new evidence and changing circumstances. However, the judge rejected the request, citing concerns over witness tampering and the potential for Diddy to interfere with the ongoing investigation. Diddy's legal team, ever the defenders, has vigorously denied all allegations, dismissing the numerous accusations as baseless rumors. But with each new lawsuit, each new piece of evidence, and with more individuals coming forward with similar stories, the case against Diddy continues to gain traction. Despite his lawyers' efforts to refute these claims, the mounting evidence suggests that the man once known as a kingpin in both the music industry and the world of Hollywood elites may have been hiding a much darker truth for decades. A disturbing pattern, hidden cameras, and security measures. One of the most telling aspects of Diddy's alleged activities is the disturbing level of control he maintained over his guests. According to former model Precious Muir, who attended several of Diddy's infamous parties, the security at his mansion was unlike anything she had ever seen before. Muir claims that hidden cameras were placed not just in common areas, but also inside the bedrooms, an unusual and alarming security measure. The placement of cameras in such private spaces raised serious concerns about the level of surveillance Diddy was exerting over those within his inner circle. Muir went on to compare the experience to her time at the Playboy Mansion, where similar security measures were in place. She noted that while cameras in public areas might be expected for security purposes, the installation of cameras in bedrooms felt like an invasion of privacy, and suggested that Diddy may have been using these cameras to exert power over his guests. Such revelations only add to the growing suspicion that Diddy's parties were not just about lavish gatherings, but were, in fact, carefully crafted environments of control and manipulation. The continuing drama, a reckoning for Diddy. As the legal drama continues to unfold, the entertainment industry is beginning to reckon with the truth behind Diddy's legacy. For years, The mogul was seen as a powerful, untouchable figure who could do no wrong. But with each new revelation, it becomes clearer that Diddy's empire was built on a foundation of secrecy, manipulation, and fear. As more victims come forward with their stories, it's becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the darker side of Diddy's legacy. What began as a powerful music mogul's rise to fame now appears to be unraveling in front of the world's eyes. The chilling stories, disturbing footage, and damning evidence continue to paint a picture of a man who may have used his wealth and influence to control, abuse, and silence those who dared to challenge him. As the investigation deepens and more lawsuits are filed, the music industry and the world watches closely to see just how far Diddy's web of manipulation and control stretches.